That was
Easy.
quick. Yeah.
How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for
Good.
providing this space today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for making 15 minutes, you said?
Yes.
Perfect. So
Great.
yes, loads of people reach out to me asking about Epstein-Barr. I know my mom has it in full effect, and without your help, I don't know where she'd be today. She's sticking to your protocol very strictly, and it's
Good.
helping her so much.
Good. Yeah. So, Epstein-Barr, and as mentioned earlier, when you and I were talking, we can talk for hours and hours and days on end about Epstein-Barr and how it gets started and all that kind of good stuff. But what can we empower people with who know that they have it and they know about it? What are some of those remedies? So, do you want me to just dive in?
Just jump right on in. Yeah.
Okay, because we could talk for hours on this again. So really quickly about Epstein-Barr, for those people that logged on, don't really know much about it or know a lot about it. I learned about Epstein-Barr in high school, right? It was known as mono, or the kissing disease. And that's the first time I heard about it. And it was like, oh, someone had it. They were super tired for a while, and then they'd eventually get over it. There were really no remedies for it, but just that time, time would cure it or heal it. Then fast forward a couple, 10, 15 years later, after I went through my health journey and my kids, I'm learning foot zoning, and we learn all about these viruses and where they sit and what they can do to the body. And it really opened my eyes towards this, and that a lot of us have it. And if we don't keep our immune system up, this is when those viruses kind of take hold in our body and wreak havoc in our body. So I was learning more about that. So then as I started my practice and doing foot zoning, a lot of people would come to me with these mystery illnesses, or they got diagnosed with Hashimoto's or lupus or Lyme's, or they've got tumors growing and they're no one knows why or how, because they're on a quote unquote healthy diet. People with like these migraines that just won't go away. And I would zone them, and it was like, well, I'm not sure what you've been diagnosed with or what other doctors telling you, but you've got a couple of these viruses and they're leaching all these minerals from you. Let's boost your immune system and get your body back in balance. And then their diseasements would go away. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Then over time, I found out about Anthony Williams. And when I read his book, I was like, oh my goodness, he speaks my language. Like somebody who gets this whole virus thing, because a lot of times people thought it was crazy. What? This is just a virus. So as I went through my practice and continue to go through my practice, I find a lot of people who have these issues in the body, and a lot of it stems from where this Epstein-Barr can leach and can grab hold to different tissues and different places in the body. And so through the years of doing this, I found some great remedies. Now, keep in mind, everybody is a little bit different. Okay, so but I'm going to give an overall general rule of thumb of some remedies that you can look at and take, and the dosages that you can go up to on them, so it can be really helpful, so you can empower yourself with starting to feel better. So one of the things I really want to address is minerals. On my blog, if you go to amberbodyhealth.com, on my blog, you can just search minerals. I've got 2 entries on there about minerals, because this is one thing that I find that anybody walks in the door with Epstein-Barr or also with other ailments in the body, they are completely depleted of minerals. Our soils are depleted of minerals. We don't eat enough minerals. We burn through our minerals too quickly. So when we have Epstein-Barr, when they sit on flat bones, they suck you dry of your minerals. And I find that a lot of people come and they're like, well, am I getting enough protein? Am I getting enough protein? I'm like, throw protein out the window. Baby, you need minerals. So flooding the body with minerals, number one thing. And people think, well, I'm getting enough minerals. No, you need a dump truck full of minerals into your body every single day. So a lot of times, people go round and round robin about, do I juice or do I do a smoothie? Both are absolutely amazing. But in the time when you need to flood your body with minerals, you've got to bring in juicing. Okay, so some great mono juices that can flood the body with minerals, okay, is cucumber juice, celery juice. You can do melon juices. You can do like a parsley, cilantro, asparagus juice in there. to flood the body with minerals. Why minerals? Our body's burning through them faster, and your body has to have minerals for your cells to function, whether it's the brain, the immune system, your metabolism, your hormones. If you don't have minerals, the game starts to just become over and the body becomes extremely depleted. So think about those ways. There's a lot of other foods that have a high mineral content, and instead of diving into those, you can get them off my blog. And I talk about those. Plus, because the viruses burn through minerals, and a lot of times your immune system is going to burn through minerals 10, 15 times faster when it's trying to fight something. So number one game changer is get enough minerals in you. And again, if you think you're getting a lot, you're probably still not getting enough. Keep getting in more. Some other things that you want to think about is pulling away the foods that are going to feed the virus. Epstein-Barr feeds off of eggs. Okay, so it just feeds off of it. It's like putting fuel on the fire. So where my son had brain tumors in the past, I will never, ever give him eggs because it feeds cancer with a vengeance. It feeds viruses with a vengeance. There's hormones in there that are fast-acting hormones. It takes a baby chick from day 1 to 30 to a full-blown chicken. Any abnormal cell in the body, it's rapid growth. So when you're trying to get rid of a virus, you absolutely have to take out the eggs. You absolutely have to take out the dairy. It's like glue in your body. And so your systems cannot operate at a high function. So you definitely want to take out the dairy. You want to take out all animal protein. When you are fighting a virus, you have to do that. Okay. It pulls down the liver. It makes it all gooey. It's like sludge in the liver. And then now your liver can't filter the blood and have vibrant blood being pumped to all your organs so that they can function at their optimum. So absolutely take out the animal protein. And of course, we can go on and on about like processed sugars and preservatives, all that. Melissa, you're so good about educating people on those things. You want those out of the body. You want to flood the body with organic, fresh fruits and vegetables. Absolutely. And stay away from genetically modified food, of course. So we quickly touched base on what is feeding it. Also, you have to think about chemicals in your environment. You know, those chemicals, viruses feed off of those. So you want to think about maybe what chemicals you're being exposed to and pull those out of the system, so that you don't feel like like you're running on the hamster wheel when you're trying to fight the virus. Because a lot of people come and they're like, I'm doing all these things, but yet they've got plug-in air fresheners in their room with these extremely toxic chemicals, and it's just feeding it. They're sleeping in it. They're going about their day, breathing it in it. And so it causes a big problem in the body. So keep that in mind. Be aware of the chemicals in your environment. So let's dive in deep to the remedies. The remedies, number one thing that I find so low on people is zinc. Absolutely low on people, that people are so low on zinc. Zinc are the bullets to the white blood cells. So your immune system, your body can go encapsulate the virus, but it can't eradicate it or get rid of it if you don't have enough zinc. And some people are like, I'm eating pumpkin seeds, I'm eating food with zinc in it. You know, that's great. But by the time you have the virus and it's completely depleted, your system and your immune system is just saying, help me, help me. You've got to come in with large amounts of zinc. The zinc that you want when you're trying to eradicate a virus is zinc sulfate. So there's a lot of great zincs out there, but you've got to make sure it's zinc sulfate, like zinc bicarbonate. You know, that's going to be great for your immune system, but that's not going to eradicate the viruses. So make sure it's zinc sulfate. 2 brands that I really like is Eidon, E-I-D-O-N, and this is a more mild zinc, or you have Good State zinc, which is zinc sulfate. That's much more concentrated. Now they have a big bottle, but that's not zinc sulfate. So people are like, oh, it's so much cheaper if I get the bigger bottle, but it's not zinc sulfate. So go with the small one with the eyedropper. If you have any questions about these supplements, I have a resource page on my website. You can go there as well to check that out. So when people are trying to get enough zinc in their system, I usually start off small to see where their body's at, because it's a little different. I'll tune into their body and know, or if someone's trying it out, start small and go big. So what does that look like? If someone's starting off with Good State zinc, which is very concentrated, I usually say have food on the belly, and you want to start off with like 15 drops in a glass of water or fresh pressed juice, and take it in the morning and night, and do that for a couple days. If you're like, hey, no problem, nothing's going on, double it. go 30 drops morning, 30 drops in the evening time. And then if you're like, hey, I'm doing good, no problem, a couple days later, then you want to do 1.5 droppers. So a full dropper is about 30 to 40 drops. So at this point, you're going to go 1 full dropper plus 15 drops or a half, and do that morning and night. If you have no problems with that, go to 2 full droppers. You should minimum be on 2 full droppers twice a day to have a healthy immune system. Yeah. Now, some people are like, oh my goodness, I got up to 1 full dropper and I want to vomit, you know, or I feel icky. It's just going to be pulling things out of your system. So what I tell them is drop it down a little bit, like let's go 20 drops, and then 15 or 20 minutes later, do 20 drops again so that we can get it into their system. Okay. Once you get up to 2 full droppers twice a day, bring in more. If you're dealing with Epstein-Barr virus, a lot of times I have people go 2 full droppers, 3, 4, and even 5 times.
Dang, wow.
Yeah, it's because we're so depleted, but that virus has at this point, probably mutated, have a couple different colonies, different areas in the body, and your body needs help. Zinc is like one of the basic minerals that you have to have on a cellular level for your body to function. So it's not just for the immune system, it's for the eyes, it's for the hearing, it's for the skin, it's for the nails, it's for your liver. So many different things. So make sure that you get enough in your system. As long as you're getting the right brands and the right form of zinc, you're going to be fine. There's a couple emergency situations that I've had with my kids where, you know, like my 9-year-old, I was giving him 1 full dropper of zinc every 45 minutes to an hour during the whole day when he was awake. And you'd be able to eradicate some infections that came on really quickly. And he was done with it like 24 hours later, instead of like, my girlfriend who's a pediatrician, she's like, oh, this is going to be 2 or 3 weeks on antibiotics. This is crazy. So you're able to give the body what it needs because the body is made to heal. I can't say that enough. And so if we give it what it needs, it will do its thing. So make sure you have enough zinc. And something else that you want to make sure is you have B12. Most of us burn through our B12 because we're stressed. We live in an environment with chemicals. We go, go, go. Our immune system is run down. Now, there is 4 different kinds of B12s, okay? I don't expect you to memorize them, but just know that one starts with a C, one starts with an H, one starts with an A, and one starts with an M. Most people are familiar with the M. What you need when you're dealing with Epstein-Barr is adenosylcobalamin, and that's the one with the A. I don't expect you to memorize it, spell it, whatever, but just go with the A one. You need to make sure you have a B12 with the A, adenosylcobalamin in it. Most people are extremely deficient with B12. I find with my work, it really affects their knees and their joints. Like the glands start to swell behind the knees start to break down, the knees are rubbing where they shouldn't be, and people are like, oh, I got creaky knees, or my knees are going. That point, you're like, ooh, the body's been really low on B12 for a really long time. What is challenging is you go get blood work, and they're like, you're fine on B12, your body's great, but yet you have all the signs of low B12. You have all the symptoms of low B12. So it really messes with your head. You're like, what's wrong with me? But what's happened is nobody's looking inside your organs. Nobody's saying, how much B12 does your liver have? How much B12 does your spleen have? How much B12 do your nerves have, your cranial nerves? And so it could be very challenging. A lot of times, if it comes back completely fine on B12 on your blood work, you're probably low. And also, if it comes back low, then you're really, really low. So you want to make sure you get the B12 with adenosylcobalamin in it, okay? And adenosylcobalamin takes it from the blood to the liver, from the blood to the brain, from the blood to your thymus. So make sure you have that in there. Now, 2 brands that I know of and use very well, and I'm also researching out a couple others. A couple clients have brought me some that have adenosylcobalamin in it. So I'm researching those out and calling the companies. But make sure you get that in there. 2 brands that I really recommend at this point would be Global Healing and then also Vimergy. Okay. And now, how much B12 can you take? If you're taking good brand and you've got adenosylcobalamin in there, then you want to make sure, I would say first start off with a half a dropper under the tongue, hold it for 15 seconds before swallowing it first thing in the morning. If you're okay with that, now when I say okay with that, what does it mean? Do you have side effects? Do you get a headache? Do you feel kind of woozy, whatever? Because B12 will detox the nerves very quickly. So if you've got old chemicals and toxins and viral debris on the nerves, it will kick that off and you can have a headache. And people are like, oh, I tried that. That didn't work for me. Well, then do you know what? Go down to 5 drops. I had one girl in here, she was so sick. We could barely do 1 drop. In a period of 6 months, we were able to get her to a half a dropper full. But she needed that. And once she got to a half a dropper full, oh man, she was feeling on cloud 9. Mm-hmm. So it's play with it. Everybody's a little different. Now, some people are like, I can take 3 full droppers, no problem. Great. Now, once you work it up to like 1 full dropper first thing in the morning, go for 2. On the bottle, it'll usually say 1 ml, but your body's going to need more than that. You need 1 ml just to function, but what about to fight viruses and, you know, eradicate anything else in the body that shouldn't be there, and also to help your immune system function. So with a lot of people who are dealing with Epstein-Barr, I have them work up to 2 full droppers in the morning. Then I have them do 1 to 2 full droppers midday, like anytime between 11 and 3, because, you know, in foot zoning, we learn about the glandular system. Your adrenals your adrenals start running as the boss gland like 2 or 3 o'clock. And that's where people find that slump where they're just like, oh, I can't keep my eyelids open. They're at work. They need their coffee. They're driving home. They feel like they can fall asleep right, you know, in the afternoon. These are your adrenals. They're very taxed. And so that's for a whole nother day about talking about adrenals, but you've got to give your body some B12 before those adrenals take over. So with some people that they're really not feeling well, then I, you know, say take 1 full dropper at 11, then take another full dropper at 1, and then take another full dropper at 3 to keep yourself alive and feeling well until we get your body functioning at a higher capacity. All these, really quickly, because there was a question that popped up, all these supplements you can take when you're pregnant.
Okay.
So you're completely fine, nursing and pregnant, as long as you're getting the, you know, the good brands and none of these fillers. Something else that is a must that is needed is methylfolate. Methylfolate helps the liver take out the trash. It helps do many, many other things, but it helps the liver take out the trash. It helps clean up the filters. Okay, so when your body is trying to get rid of the Epstein-Barr virus, there's a lot of byproduct. Imagine like a war zone and there's a big mess and it leaves behind a lot of this stuff. Your liver soaks it up, and now your liver starts to be like this massive garbage can that no one's taking out. And then other problems can start to rise. And that's when people start saying, well, I've been eating healthy and doing things for 3 months. I was feeling good. Now I'm feeling awful. And it's because that liver is not taking out the trash. So getting on methylfolate is absolutely necessary. 2 really good brands. One is Pure Encapsulation. One is Metabolic Maintenance. Now, for those people who have the 5-MTHFR, which is the genetic disorder, their body can't get rid of chemicals and toxins, this is necessary. But a lot of people say, no, I can't take it. My doctor or my practitioner said, no, they need it. But some of them might react because all of a sudden they take this and boom, they have detox symptoms. So they're like, I can't take that. So they have to do the smallest form of methylfolate. And so maybe they start off with a 0.5 or a 500 micrograms. So you want, for an average person, I would say start off with 2.5 milligrams. Okay, 2.5 milligrams, and you take 1 in the morning, 1 at night. Okay, as we know, when people are pregnant, you absolutely must take this. This is your folate, but methylfolate is the purest form of folic acid that you're going to find. So you want to do this, make sure the liver takes out the trash. And when people are dealing with heavy loads of Epstein-Barr, then eventually you got to go up to 5 milligrams twice a day. And with some clients, I've had to go up to 10 milligrams twice a day. But again, if you're sensitive to things, there's a lot of toxins. Somebody might have to start off with 1, okay, 1 milligram once a day. And then, or if that's too much, open up the capsule and sprinkle a little bit in some applesauce and eat that and start there. If even that's too much, I've had some of my clients just start with P5P. A great brand is Pure Encapsulation, and take one of those because that just helps with the metabolic exchanges in the liver. So it just kind of starts to get the car started, the old car that hasn't been started. Once you get it started, then you go ahead and come in with that methylfolate. But just think of that It helps the liver take out the trash. Do I take that every day? Absolutely. Do I give it to my 3 boys? Absolutely. If they get exposed to something, you know, falls from the sky or they're at school or whatever, that their liver can easily take that out. So it's a really good one to have on your regimen on a regular basis. Now, let's talk about vitamin C. A lot of people think, oh, vitamin C, that's an old, you know, tale. You just got to have your vitamin C and your immune system is going to be fine. Yes, but also there's been a lot of production on vitamin C, and there's a lot of brands out there that aren't up to standard, up to par, aren't up to quality. So I would strongly suggest to bring in the truckloads of vitamin C. There's lots of herbs and plants that have vitamin C, but most of the time, even when you're getting those, I find people are not getting enough. Okay, so some brands of vitamin C that I like is Ester C from Pure Encapsulation. You can get Ester C from Vimergy. You can get lots of, from different high quality herb shops, you can get Rose Hip, which is high amounts of vitamin C, Amla powder, high amounts of vitamin C. I absolutely love your C from Nature, which is absolutely amazing because it has a combination of those. Now, what's happening is people aren't getting enough. Like a lot of times on these bottles, it says take 1 or 2 capsules a day. No, that's not going to get rid of the Epstein-Barr virus. So let's say, for example, let's start off with Ester C from Pure Encapsulation. As an example, a lot of times I'll have my clients start taking 2 in the morning and 2 at night. Okay, even though on the bottle it says take 1 or 2 for good measure, for good healthy immune system. After a week, I have them go to 3 and 3. Okay, then stay there a week so your liver can detox at that level. Your lymphatic system can start to get things moving. You know, your thymus can start regrouping and refiring on different things. Stay there a week and then you go up to 4 and 4. You stay there a week and then you go up to 5 and 5. You should be up to 5 and 5 and feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good with that, and then stay there a month. But guess what? You probably need to go up a little bit more. So that's where I usually tell people take 5 more midday or start upping it. Now, at any time, if you up that dosage, you're at 2 and 2, and you're like, great. You go to 3 and 3, and all of a sudden you feel achy. You feel tired. You feel like you have the flu coming on, but you don't have the flu. You might feel like a little head, something going on. It's just a massive detox out of the liver and out of the lymphatic system. If you can handle it and it doesn't impede your work, great. Make sure you're drinking a lot of fluid, do some fresh pressed juices. It'll go away in a couple days. If it's too much, just go back down to that dosage of 2 and 2 and stay there another week so it can detox at that level a little longer. Okay, so some people go 5 and 5 real quickly. Some people it's over a period of 2 or 3 months. So just listen to your body. And again, everybody is different, but most people are not getting enough readily available vitamin C. When you're dealing with Epstein-Barr, which I like to tell you, or I like to kind of explain to my clients because they're like, it's a virus. What's the big deal? It is a fire breathing dragon. Okay, and if you just try to shoot a bow and arrow at it, it's not going to do anything. You've got to get a hold of that thing. You've got to come back in with some fire breathing resources, this massive mighty dragon with lots and lots of things in order to let it know that you're in charge, you're in control, no more. Okay, and then that way, and then you start starving it, you're not feeding it. Okay, it'll lower and lower and lessen and lessen. Once you get that Epstein-Barr virus down or in a dormant situation, don't feel confused or alarmed when all of a sudden you're not feeling good anymore. Let's be honest, it's a virus. So when it dies, it has carcasses and it has off gas, and those things get into our bloodstream. And if the liver's not methylating, you're not eating foods that are feeding the blood, you know, lots of greens, lots of anti-inflammatory foods, lots of mineral-rich foods, you can feel pretty icky. So keep in mind, you want to keep that blood really, really clean. And that's where I usually have people come in with lots of garlic or the honey lemon ginger water, which I have that recipe on my blog under the weight loss blog. We talked about that just because of what it does for the liver, but that's a really good one for cleaning the blood. Lots of greens, you know, and we can get them so many different ways in supplements and in foods. So make sure you're doing that. Something else that has been really helpful for my clients is taking something called mushroom defense or mushroom plus herbs. Gaia has a great one, Gaia. It's called mushroom plus herbs. And then below it, it says a liver defense. And this has a combination of some herbs, but plus some specific mushrooms to eradicate Epstein-Barr and viruses, but also to help the immune system, help the liver function a little better as it's working overtime to help the system. Now, for some of you guys that are essential oil lovers, essential oils are very key in this journey too. If you have them, you're familiar with them, start using them a little bit more. And if you haven't, start dabbling in them. But I have had some great success with Epstein-Barr and also some other viruses by rubbing essential oils up and down the spine and on the scapula. The scapula are flat bones, and viruses love to sit there, and they feed off our blood building material, and that's why our minerals just drop really quickly. So some essential oils that I have found very key and have been game changers in certain situations when people are fighting the Epstein-Barr virus is Ravensara. If you're unfamiliar with it, it's Ravensara, Ravensara. There's also sandalwood, which is a common one. Also basil. It's very simple, but it's really good because it's going to help blood, viruses, and the lymphatic system. And also Melissa. Dun, 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 dun. Melissa is a great essential oil. It's also known as lemon balm. It helps calm the body, but also eradicate viruses. And also black pepper or pepper black. Now, you're not limited to these, but these are some top ones that I find extremely helpful. I would pick 2 or 3 of those, 1 or 2 drops of each, and I would mix it with St. John's wort oil, or I would mix it with black cumin oil, and I would massage it up and down the spine. Okay, 1 or 2 drops of each, and then 10 to 15, maybe 20 drops of this St. John's wort or the black cumin carrier oil, and massage up and down the spine and really get into the scapula. That has a large part of the blood building, and our sternum is also a flat bone, so it's a blood building bone. You can even massage it up and down on that. Extremely helpful for boosting your immune system, but getting rid of those viruses that are sitting there. Also, what happens is, really quickly, I feel like I need to share this. Maybe someone needs to hear it, but viruses will sit on the flat bones for a really long time, and we just don't know they're there until we hit a midlife crisis. We're stressed. We have an accident. Someone close to us passes, whatever it is, and our immune system takes a dip. And then all of a sudden, those viruses will jump on our heart and cause a lot of problems in the heart. So some people say, I got the flu, but now I'm having all these heart issues. Now I can't get myself out of bed. They go to the doctors. Months down the road, they find out their heart is only functioning at 30% or only 50%. And then they're dealing with these whole other slew of heart issues. But if you just get in there and get rid of that virus, then boom, the heart issue leaves, or you don't have any problems with the heart anymore. And then you want to strengthen the heart. But just keep that in mind. So even if you don't have Epstein-Barr, you don't think you have Epstein-Barr, even if you feel like life is all jolly and it's great, you're not dealing with anything, let's strengthen our immune system and get rid of maybe those viruses that are sitting there that you don't know are there. Massage them into your scapula every once in a while. Also, it'll help just strengthen your blood, empower you with more vitality in the body. So these are some great remedies. So if you have essential oils, if you have herbs, or your food or your supplements, you can really empower the body. But again, I want to stress, when you think you're doing enough, it's probably not enough. Just do a little bit more. And that's what the ester C, the zinc, the B12. Are there other supplements? Absolutely. We can talk for hours, but those are like the basic that everybody should have in their system at those dosages when they're fighting Epstein-Barr virus. We can also talk about teas. Any antiviral tea is really good. You can put teas in your bath when you do Epsom salt baths to really help boost the immune system and lymphatic system. But hopefully that will give you a really good solid foundation on where to begin and move forward when you think you're dealing with Epstein-Barr.
You gave us an incredible arsenal. I can't wait to put these together. I so appreciate it. You're incredible. Amazing. Oh,
good. And I hopefully people, again, they use their, use their supplements and empower them. Yeah. Get your health back.
Wow. You spent almost a half an hour with us. I so appreciate that. Seriously.
Time just goes by. Yes, you are so welcome. And so again, hopefully some of this information will help you or somebody just take a step forward and regain their health.
I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you are so welcome. Thank you, Melissa, for providing this space for us to share this information.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you for all the work you do.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
I'll talk
Yes.
to you soon.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. I will do my best to save this. No, I'll save it. I mean, how could I not? And I'm going to put it on YouTube. The reason I say I will do my best because sometimes when I save it, it comes in all sketchy and bad quality. But who cares? As long as you can hear what she's saying, that's what's important. So forget about the quality on YouTube. Just put it on audio, listen to it, and take rapid fire notes. That's what I did here. In case you didn't take notes, I'm just going to fly through them real quick. So if you have a pen and paper, or put it in your notes within your phone, okay? She said that we basically need dump trucks of minerals. So we need cucumber juice, celery juice, melon juice, parsley and cilantro juice. Any of us can do this. This is affordable. Celery is like $2. I mean, it's our health. If we don't have our health, what do we have? We need to do this now too. Why wait until you're super sick? Like, take care of your body right this minute and get the upper hand. Don't wait until tragedy strikes and then your immune system dips and then all of these virus starts coming to the surface, you know? So she said that it feeds off eggs and dairy and animal products like wildfire. Those are really hard things to digest. They're very acidic to our body. So if you can take those out right now, you're going to be better off. Are you going to have them once in a while? You might choose to, but don't have it morning, noon, and night, or you're looking for disaster. Zinc. Zinc, and she's told me this many times before, zinc is like bullets to white blood cells. Zinc sulfate in particular. Start with 15 drops AM and PM. Double it when possible. Do not have it on an empty stomach, or yes, you will get nauseous. I think the biggest side effect is puking, which is not fun for anyone. So start slow. I put a couple drops in my smoothie. At this point, I can do a whole dropper. Nothing happens. The first time I did it on an empty stomach, I felt dizzy and woozy, and you just don't want that to happen. So go slow. Virus sits on flat bones and doesn't show up until usually tragedy strikes. Say there's a death in the family, or you lose your job, or a relationship ends, and then suddenly you feel like you were hit by a truck. That's the virus probably creeping up. That's why we want to take these preventative measures and get a handle on it. Vitamin C. Not all vitamin C is created equal. Ascorbic acid is basically a marketing scam. It's what Emergency and all of those vitamin C supplements that you see at the store. Look at the back. If it says ascorbic acid, put it back on the shelf. That is from genetically modified corn. It's not a real source of vitamin C, and it will not help you get better. So get one that is from fruit, like the camu or blueberries or whatever. Just look at the source of where this vitamin C is from. The one that I take is from Purium. I will go on iShopPurium.com. You can use Hanson's Kitchen as a discount code, and you will get $50 off your first order. It's the cleanest, most amazing vitamin C I have found so far. And there are other brands too. So just do your research and make sure it's from a good source. And by that, I mean, look at what it's, the ingredients, what it's sourced from. Methylfolate cleans out your filters. It basically cleans out your liver. It's taking out the trash. She recommends pure encapsulations, 2.5 milligrams AM and PM. Then move your way up to 5 milligrams twice a day. Eventually, if you're seriously suffering with Epstein-Barr and you want to get better, eventually work your way up to 10 milligrams twice daily. Now that might seem like a lot, but if anyone out there is suffering with Epstein-Barr, and I know a lot of you are because I get these direct messages, including my mom, who suffers terribly, then these are the measures that you need to take massive action to get amazing results. You might have detox symptoms. Go easy. If you're having terrible detox symptoms and your body's super achy and your headache is just roaring, then go back a little bit on the dosage and just work your way up. What else did she say here? Vitamin B12. She recommends global healing. And hang on. She said not all vitamin B12 is the same. So she likes global healing and Vimergy. I get my B12 from the vitamin from spirulina. Not all spirulina is created the same either. And I think you know that at this point. The one I use is the cacao peppermint spirulina, and it has B12 in it. But the one that she's recommending here, if you need some like serious concentration of vitamin B12 to clean out your little blood vessels, she says here, half dropper under your tongue, hold it for 15 seconds in the morning. It will detox the nerves very quickly. And if you have a headache, go down to 5 drops. And then eventually work your way up to 2 full droppers to fight difficult viruses like EBV. Yes, what my mom, Carol Dacey, just wrote, I get methylfolate from Amber L. Methylfolate. Okay, that's a good one too. So Amber's site does have all of these brands that she recommends, and she has done her research. She's a master herbologist. Vitamin C, mushroom defense. Oh, I really like this with essential oils. I signed up with doTERRA. I never turned it into a business, but I love doTERRA for just their quality. I know that Young Living and doTERRA are supposed to be 2 of the top. And again, they're not all created equal. So don't find one for $2 and think it's going to be the same as doTERRA or Young Living. You can order any of these from, I don't know if her site has it, but my profile, if you click on it, I have a doTERRA link. And the ones that she recommended were sandalwood, basil, melissa, black pepper, and mix. She said start with maybe try 3 of them. Don't go crazy. Start with maybe 3. Mix with black pepper. Mix with St. John's wort oil as the carrier oil and rub it up and down your spine or over your scapula. And that these viruses sit on flat bones and they don't show up. Yep, we talked about that. Strengthen the immune system. Don't wait. Make this part of your daily routine. Do you want to get your minerals and vitamins and protein and everything else from food? Yes, of course. Food sourced supplements are going to be the best. Eating quality organic food, but our food is so deficient. Not only is it sprayed with pesticides, insecticides, fungicides, herbicides, cancer-causing chemicals, but even when you have organic, you don't know when it rains out, that crap spills onto the organic. So yes, choose organic when possible. I only choose organic. If they don't have organic, I don't buy it. That's all there is to it. But choose organic. And then when you feel like you're getting sick, supplement with high doses of vitamin C, zinc, all of these things that she recommended. Don't wait. And don't let your, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to tell you what I would do. What, Justin? Yes, and Justin just reminded me okay, we'll talk about that later. That's another subject. If you have any questions, then reach out to me and I will do the best that I can to answer. And Amber is incredible. She always finds time, I don't know how, to answer her questions on Instagram. She's going to be one of my guest speakers at my next Heal From Within Summit in Catalina Island. That summit is completely full, but if you'd like to come to one of our future events, just DM me all of your info and I will save it on a list for future events. Is that it? I think so. All right, I'm going to save this and then put it up later on YouTube.